Just to start with, if you're straining to read my t-shirt, I'll just tell you up front, it says, people in sleeping bags are the soft tacos of the bear world. So, just in case you're like straining to try and figure this out. To start with, I just would like to ask you to look at the expressions on the faces of the people in this photograph. That's me in the blue scarf on the very end with the green hat. I love that. And you'd think, looking at this, like, oh, this is a really happy group of people. But it was actually taken on a day where a few hours before this picture was taken, we'd all kind of had the stuffing kicked out of us, believe it or not. These were colleagues of mine at the Ann Arbor News. I had worked there for about 5 years at the time the photo was taken. And I actually had just stumbled into my dream job. You know, typical kid with a liberal arts major in college. I came out of college and I worked as an office temp and a video store clerk and a bookseller. I went to grad school and I tried teaching. But when I came back to Michigan, I just kind of happened to be in the right place at the right time with the right skills. And I landed this job at the Ann Arbor News, and I couldn't believe my good fortune. I was a staff arts reporter, and there were 4 main reasons why this was such a dream job. The first one was, within weeks of starting, I was talking on the phone with Mikhail Baryshnikov. Talk about nervous. Another time I was eating at a lunch catered by Zingerman's alongside Patrick Stewart. There was a time when Ben Vereen was 45 minutes late for an interview that we had scheduled, and he came in and he was really in a rush and said, "Oh, I'm so really sincere. I'm so sorry that I was late." And I said to him as smooth as ever, "Oh, you're welcome." But I also got to see all these theater productions and review them, and I would, I was sent to go to Robin Williams' show, which of course now means the world to me that I went to see that and wrote about it. It's like having a record of these things in writing that are just still out there. So that was the most obvious, amazing part of the job. Another one was I had been kind of a quiet kid, a middle child, always kind of felt invisible and overlooked. This job suddenly gave me this very public voice. And I had this ongoing conversation with the community of Ann Arbor. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. You know, even though I'm still kind of this introverted person, I can have this back and forth and communicate and have this voice with this community that I love. The third thing is, if anyone spent any time in a newsroom, it's a pretty cool place to be. It's very electric. Everyone's very engaged, very curious. You're kind of watching things unfold, and you're picking up the phone to call somebody to get their comment on it. You're kind of on the front lines of the information that's coming in, and it's really exciting to be around that. Even an arts reporter, and there's not an arts emergency or anything, I get it, but it was still really great to be in that environment. And the last reason was just these people. The people at the news and the newsroom were so kind, and they were so good at their jobs. Everyone there was, they were talented, they were smart, they were curious. But again, that kindness is one of the things I remember. I became a new mom about the previous year, but they threw a baby shower for me. 2 months before this photo, I lost my mother quite suddenly after a long, protracted battle with cancer. And they were wonderful. They offered hugs, they offered support. And actually, on this day, when we looked so happy, we had just been told that morning that the Ann Arbor News would be shutting down after almost 2 centuries of being published. We weren't expecting it, to say the least. There was a lot of speculation, they might cut us back to printing maybe twice a week rather than daily. They may have another round of buyouts where they're trying to kind of thin things out a little bit more. We were not expecting we'll be closing the doors in July of this year. And when this photo was taken, we were on our way to a meeting where we would hear about AnnArbor.com from the people who would be at the helm of that project. Now, we knew, without them saying it, very few of us would be finding a place at AnnArbor.com from the Ann Arbor News. So again, you have to ask yourself, why are we looking so ridiculously happy? Well, I think those of you who have had really, really kind of blindsiding news out of nowhere may have experienced this, where there's a little bit of giddiness involved. Like you've lost you're suddenly hyper aware of how little control you have over much of your life and the world around you. But there's also, on the flip side of that, this gratitude for what you have had in the way of opportunities and the people you've gotten to work with and the job you got to do. But more pointedly, I've been thinking about this. It's like the tilt-a-whirl ride where you're going really, 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 really fast and the floor drops out and one part of your brain is like, oh my God, I'm going to die! And the other part of your brain says, whee! We were kind of in wee mode at this point, obviously. The bottom had dropped out and we were just stunned, but also happy to be together. So, of course, in the months following this announcement, people started looking at where they could go from here. People were looking at school programs, alternate careers. Maybe they could go to school to be a physician's assistant or law school. Other people were just kind of like shooting their resume out there at everything, seeing, in kind of panic mode, seeing whatever stuck. I did neither of these things. My response to this was to kind of just shut down. I was kind of paralyzed. I think between my mother's death and the news was closing, and just being a new mom and not having kind of a mom to turn to, I just shut down. So, and then I did something that made no sense at all, which was I started training for a triathlon, like a mini triathlon. But in looking back on it now, it kind of makes sense. I think I needed something that I just kind of felt physically in my body that I could focus on. It had nothing to do with all the parts of my life that I kind of felt like were falling apart. So I did that, and but of course the calendar rolls on. July is there. It's not going anywhere. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And I'm starting to panic a little bit. At the 11th hour, literally days before the news closed its doors, my former editor, Bob Needham, who had been one of the people who left to help launch AnnArbor.com, called me and he said, well, I think there's a space here for a part-time arts reporter if you'd like to do it. And the phone call was like, it felt like waking up on the moon and someone saying, so would you like some oxygen? I think I would, yeah. Now, I was excited by the prospect of still getting to do this job and it had become so entrenched in my identity. But at the same time, once I started there, I did notice that I went from being among the youngest people in the newsroom in the Ann Arbor News to being one of the oldest people at AnnArbor.com. So that was a red flag that I maybe not, too much longer for this class. But I just thought I'm going to keep working hard. I'm going to keep doing this, ride this train as far as it will take me. As far as it would take me ended up being January 2016. MLive had taken over, absorbed AnnArbor.com at that point, and MLive laid me off at that point. So I was kind of back in Freefall again, but this time there was no 11th hour call from somebody offering me a job. But, I think we all want to have that, Oprah voice in our head going, maybe this adversity is an opportunity. Maybe this is the universe pushing you to be more ambitious and to take risks and to put yourself out there. Turns out that's not what the universe was telling me. Because I applied to fellowships, I applied to journalism jobs, I applied to a billion jobs at the university. I got a few interviews here and there, nothing came through at all. So I just kind of focused on freelancing and tried to start kind of building a freelancing business as a writer and editor. And it was fine, I got steady work, it doesn't pay very well, of course, but I was getting steady work and staying busy enough. But I still thought, after doing this for a good long time, I'm kind of miserable. I don't know what to do. I'm still writing, which I liked, that's obviously my passion. But I don't know, this isn't working. This photo is one that each year as this time comes up, the anniversary of this announcement, gets shared on social media between all the people in this photo. We love this photo. It means a lot to us. So this photo came up last year, and I thought, this is the missing link. This is what I'm missing. I have the writing, but I don't have this. How do I get this? So what follows after that, of course, is the thought of, if I can't be in a job situation where I can write and work as part of a team and have this kind of like human interaction, maybe I can have both separately. So maybe I can keep writing and find a job where I have that kind of sense of teamwork and community. So I walked down the street to the public library of my small town, which fortunately enough is on our street. And I asked for an application, which I filled out in ballpoint pen, no resume, because it's a library page job. It's not the communications position. I think everyone thinks that, like, oh, you're no, I'm just a person shelving. So I got an interview and I got the job, part-time. And, it started humbly, to say the least. I was trained by a 21-year-old who wants to be a writer, and Godspeed to her. She's very perky, and I thought, like, oh man. But, and then, you're the village idiot at a new job. Anyone is when you're starting from scratch. You don't know anything, so you're trusted with nothing. Like, I was trusted to get the Dropbox and read, to make sure things were in order on the shelves, and to shelve a little bit. That's it. So it was a kind of rough beginning, but then slowly, as I got more comfortable and could do more things, the very thing I had gone there for began to kind of materialize for me. There's an older gentleman who's often waiting when we open the doors every morning when we open. And he always comes in and tells some horrible joke that I roll my eyes at. But it's very charming. I really like him. And there are kids, toddlers, who are at the circulation desk getting antsy and fidgety when their parents are checking things out. And I offer them this box that has stickers and tattoos that they can kind of look through while their parents are checking things out. And there are people in the community I know who come in on a regular basis. I get to talk about books and movies with people who really care about those things again. And there's a special needs adults group that comes in once a week. And there's a young man in that group who, one of the things he always does before he leaves is he wants to shake my hand. He can't look at me in the eye, but he holds out his hand and just wants me to shake it. And I do, of course. So I feel like, although this extended Freefall part of my life that happened, starting this day, and then kind of continuing on when I was laid off, went on for a long, long time. Late last year, I kind of felt like I was coming in for a landing. And it wasn't where I was expected it to be, where I would have expected it to be. But it